We could do it.
Is Mr. Green come to see you? Oh. You know, I got shirt. I need one of them.
I feel about everything we have.
Hey there, Central High School. This is your principal, Mr. Green, coming to you from our YouTube video here from the lobby of Central High School for our makeup orientation session. We might have a mix of grades in here. And so I want to say welcome to that. If you missed our earlier sessions for the specific grade levels, you can go back to our school YouTube channel and watch those. But this is going to be a little bit of a catch-all. The screen there says freshman because they get the most information. So we're going to go through this one slide at a time. I hope this information is helpful for you. In today's session, we're going to cover people that you need to know. We're going to talk about our library. We're going to talk about Google Classroom. We're also going to, in this session, we're going to talk about our NTI expectations for you. We're going to talk about online parent forms. We're going to talk about grading and credits, the schedule, and then we'll close with NTI expectations. There are two types of students here at Central High School. There are Central students and those that wish they were Central students. This is something y'all hear me say all the time, and it's really important that you start to internalize and that you believe it. One of the things that's really important, guys, that you kind of think about through this process is that we work together, that we stick together, that we stay as a unit, and that we are always remembering that we're part of the best school here in Jefferson County. This time, I'm going to introduce our assistant principals. They're going to come up and introduce themselves to you.
What's going on, Central Yellow Jackets? My name is Shay Founder. I am the sophomore assistant principal. I'm also over freshmen's last names A through F.
Hi, Yellow Jackets. Welcome back to school. NTI 2.0. This is Miss Edwards, and I'm the assistant principal for testing and AP courses. I also am introducing Miss Beaumont, who is the senior AP this year, and she has freshmen O through Z. Let's have a great year.
Hey, Yellow Jackets, I'm Miss Britt. I have juniors and then freshmen G through N.
Hello, my name is Ben Robertson. I'm the junior counselor as well as for the freshmen whose last names start with the letters G through N. Miss Brown is also one of our counselors here at Central. She's not in the building today for this broadcast, but you see her picture on the top there. She's our 10th grade counselor and also has freshmen with the last name starting with the letters A through F.
Good afternoon, Yellow Jackets. I am Miss Poor, and I am the senior counselor, and I also work with freshmen with the last names O through Z.
All right, up next, guys, we're going to talk about some of the VIPs here at Central High School. These are folks who you're going to rely upon regularly throughout this school year. Our Family Resource Youth Service Center Coordinator, or our Frisky, is Miss Mack. The best mental health counselor works at Central High School. Her name is Miss Tangi Jones. Adrian Lane is our librarian, and you all know Dr. King. She's our magnet coordinator. I'm also really proud to introduce our athletic director for us this year is Samantha Pitts. All of our returning students will remember Miss Pitts from previous years as a health and PE teacher. She moves up now and is the only female athletic director in JCPS. And in our school's almost 150-year history, she's our first female AD here at Central High School. I know that we have a lot of library media fans here in our student population. If you are one of those students and you would like to request books, then when we're done with this presentation, we're going to make sure this is in everybody's Google Classroom. In addition to that, this document will be on our school website. If you would like to visit the school library website, click on that link when you get this presentation. And there you will learn about curbside checkout, our virtual book club, and how to access ebooks and audiobooks through the free public library in the city and more. Ms. Lane has done a really good job of putting it together, so make sure you take time to check that out. Next up is our information about the Google Classroom for each class. Every class has its own Google Classroom that it's monitored by our administrators, by the assistant principals and the counselors. In this Google Classroom, you will get announcements from the school. You'll get communication from your teachers. You'll learn about different classroom resources, grades, and each one of you has your own specific code. And each one of those codes will be in the Google Classroom to join in your email. So make sure you double check that, please. Up next is a little bit of information about transition readiness. On this chart here, you can see where there are two categories for transition readiness. One is about English and reading. The other is about mathematics, and that comprises our academic readiness. When it comes to our academic readiness, guys, there are three different benchmarks you can hit. If you get an 18 or in English or higher, 20 in English or in reading or higher, or 19 or higher in mathematics, then you are transition ready. Down below that, you see the career readiness benchmarks. In the career readiness area, you can see there's 5 different areas or 5 buckets that will help you become transition ready. And every student at Central has to become transition ready by the time you graduate. We're going for 100%, and every student has to have that before you can graduate. So make sure that you are understanding how to become transition ready. Again, when you receive this, this presentation, when you hit play, Dr. King will explain this more in depth. Up next, Mr. Robertson is going to talk to you about Parent Place.
Hello again. One of the, because we're doing virtual education this semester, one of the requirements, instead of your parents coming in for registration to get some forms filled out, is for them to go to jcps.me/parent and fill out several mandatory forms that you need to get done before the school year starts. There's a link in the comments below the YouTube video that you can click on, or you can just go to jcps.me/parent. We also want to talk a little bit about credit requirements, just really quick. Something to keep in mind, especially if you're a freshman and haven't heard this before, is that you have to have a certain number of credits in different subjects to be able to meet the requirements for graduation your 12th grade year. The total amount that you need, you'll see at the bottom, is 22, but they have to be specific classes, and we've got those broken down in the chart above that. If you're a freshman, you need 5 credits to be promoted to a sophomore. Next year, if you're a sophomore, you need 11 to get to junior year, and as a junior, you need 16 to become a senior, 22 to graduate. This is an example of a typical A-B schedule. Here at Central, we use block scheduling with A and B days. So on an A day, say it's Monday, an A day, you'll have 4 classes with 4 different teachers. The next day, Tuesday, would be a B day with 4 different teachers and 4 different classes for the most part. When you get back in the building, it'll be really clear every day. Mr. Green will say whether it's an A or a B day on the announcements. We just go one and then the next day. Even if there's an A day on a Friday, the next Monday will be a B day. So this is just an example of what it'll look like when you get back in the building. It's similar during NTI, but a little bit different, and I'll explain that for you next. We've got what's called synchronous and asynchronous days. Those are confusing terms that you might hear a lot thrown around about NTI and virtual education. Just want to break those down for you quickly so you understand what that means when you see those words. Synchronous days are just like regular school days. In NTI, what it means is you're going to check in with your normal teacher, whether it's an A day or a B day, your normal teacher for that day. You've got four classes, just like normal, during NTI, and those classes will start a little bit later than normal. They'll start at 9:15 rather than 7:40, so you're welcome. They go from, the first class goes from 9:15 to 10 o'clock. That'll be your first block. Second block will go from 10:15 to 11 o'clock. Then you'll have a lunch break from 11:15 to 12:30. Your third block will start at 12:45 and last till 1:30. And then your final block of the day will last from 1:45 to 2:30. The next day, if that was an A day, you'll have B day classes, just to remind you. The next thing we need to kind of like make you aware of is something called asynchronous days. These won't happen as often as synchronous days. And the first one is not until September 18th, which is several weeks and we'll let you know when it's coming, so don't worry about it yet. The first one is September 18th, but sometimes you'll have 2 A days and 2 B days during the course of a week, the first 4 days of a week. And then Friday will be an asynchronous day, meaning we're going to use that day to check in with you, make sure that you're caught up on all your work, make sure that you're doing okay at home. It'll be a day for mental health checks with Ms. Jones or your counselors. We can get a lot of things done that day. Again, the first one's not until September 18th, and Ms. Britt is going to come on and talk to you about how to sign in for attendance on those asynchronous days.
All right, Yellow Jackets, on asynchronous days, what will happen is you will get a Google form sent to your Google Classroom, in which you will select your 4 different teachers, first, second, third, and fourth block teachers. And then on that form, you can also indicate if you need any of those supports or services that Mr. Robertson just talked about. As he said, those will not start until the 18th of September. In order to be counted present on those asynchronous days, you'll need to complete that form before noon. You should have the form by 9:15, which is your normal start time for the school day. So you can complete that form anytime from 9:15 to noon. And it does record your email address. So you have to complete the form yourself in order to be counted present. But again, we'll kind of review this closer to the 18th of September. Next, we have Mr. Founder talking about device pickup.
Hey, Yellow Jackets, just wanted to touch base with you. If you signed up for a Chromebook or a hotspot, this is very important because this will be going out. When you sign up, you'll sign up at jcps.me/help. If you have signed up either today or yesterday, your name is probably not on the sheet, which means your Chromebook or device will not be ready. If you signed up before that, then you may pick your Chromebook or hotspot up this Thursday and Friday from 9 to 2. Be looking at your Google Classroom to see more in-depth directions on that. Again, if you need to sign up, it's jcps.me/help. Again, we will be passing those out just like we did drop-offs last year. If you're a returning student, just like we did drop-offs in front of the school, you'll pull in through the track. That's how we'll do them this year. What we will have is we will have an adult that will walk around. If your name is on the list that they have, then yours will be ready. If your name is not on that list, then give us a couple days and we'll be able to kind of make sure your name is on that list and get you a Chromebook. We will get you a Chromebook or a hotspot. It just may not be tomorrow. The other thing to know is on tomorrow, also, Miss Leach and Mr. Cheatham will be passing out band and orchestra instruments also. So as they're passing out those instruments, you can get in line and do it now and do it then, okay? If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to shoot me an email or give me a call, or you can call up to the school if you're having trouble with devices, and we do have people that can help you. Hopefully I'll see some of you all tomorrow.
All right, Yellow Jackets, I want to talk to you now about a few NTI expectations. It's really important that we're on the same page with these expectations moving forward, because NTI 1.0 is going to look differently than NTI 2.0. The first one is this: make sure you come to class on time. During the NTI 1.0, you didn't have to do that. Your teacher would just post an assignment. You would get it whenever you got it. You would do it whenever you did it. You turn it in whenever you turned it in, and that was it. This next time around with NTI 2.0, we're going to have synchronous or together instruction, which means you got to come to class on time. Make sure that you mute yourself when you first get into your class. Make sure you're listening attentively. This next one's big. Act like you're at school. I know you're not at school, but it's a simple thing to make sure that you are functioning as though you were here at school. Also, make sure that your video is on. And this next one is kind of an odd one, but it's an important one, and that is try not to eat during class time. Now, Mr. Founder's not going to come to your house and knock on your door and sit you in the corner of your bedroom if you're eating, some food during class time. However, while you are presenting yourself or learning during class, presenting yourself as a professional is a really important skill that you start to learn how to do through a camera. So it's important, guys, that if you can avoid it, try not to eat and drink during class. Save that for breaks, which we have plenty of breaks built into the school day. If you can, also try to find a consistent workspace in your house. For some of you, that might be a dining room that sits empty 364 days a year. For others of you, that might be your bed. If you're in your bed, make sure that you're dressed appropriately, but have a consistent workspace, wherever that space is going to be. For some of you, it might be your backyard. For some of you, it might be the kitchen. It might be at the table. I don't know where it's going to be, but try to find a consistent workspace that's dedicated for you to do your schoolwork. Also, make sure that you're raising your hand. And then the last one is really important, guys. Do your best and have fun. That might seem like an odd thing to say, but do your best and have fun throughout this process. A few more NTI expectations. You will have daily instruction every day at 9:15. That synchronous instruction will happen 4 times for 45 minutes. So you go 9:15 to 10 o'clock. That's first period. Then you get about a 15-minute break. And then at 10:15, you come back. And then you do 10:15 all the way up to 11 o'clock. That gets you your second period. After that, you get an hour-and-a-half break for lunch. Also during that hour-and-a-half break, your teachers will be available for office hours. So if you need extra help from your teachers, you can get it at that time. You come back at 12:30 for your third period class. You do that for 45 minutes. And then you come back for your last period class after that, after another 15-minute break. So it's important you understand that kind of daily synchronous schedule. It's just like we were in school in the building, but we're not in the building. You're at your dedicated workspace, coming to class, showing up, doing the work that your teachers have assigned for you to do. They will be teaching you. You'll be interacting with them. They'll have lessons for you. Your teachers have already been in and out of the building getting document cameras. They've got their own workstation set up at their house, so they're going to be getting that squared away for you. Make sure you have your camera on, follow the school dress code, and then also you'll have lessons with your teachers twice each week. Let's talk about participation. In NTI 1.0, participation meant that you only have to check in once per week. During NTI 2.0, that's not enough to check in once per week. You got to check in every class period, complete the agency work that your teachers have prescribed for you in the prescribed time frame. So if they say to you, this is due in a week, get it done in a week. If they say this is our work for 2 weeks, then you've got 2 weeks to get that done. If they say 3 weeks, you've got 3 weeks to get that work done, and they'll scaffold that work for you and build it up for you. But it's important also that you're reaching out to your teachers and administrators for help. We have office hours set up for an hour and a half in the middle of every day. And then also, if you happen to miss a lesson for something important or something serious, then you need to ask your teachers for any makeup video lessons that you may have missed. During NTI 1.0, guys, we had incompletes, and some of us did not complete our work until May or June. During NTI 2.0, there will be no incompletes. You will be given work to do. Your teachers will instruct you. They'll teach you lessons. They're going to be right there on the screen to help you. Your teachers helping you in real time twice a week. And it's up to you to do the work. There will be no incompletes. Also, your grades are earned through mastery and progression. If we were in person, there would be a third category called engagement. But through NTI, there is no third category called engagement. There's only mastery and progression. Mastery could be tests, quizzes, presentations, projects, and those sorts of things. And then progression is, are you progressing from point A to point B, from point B to point C, from point C to point D? Now, if you only have 2 points within a grading period that you came to class, we can't really see that progression. So it's important that you understand we need to see you every day so that we can see the progression. If you're not there every day, it's going to be hard to see that progression. So think about how that impacts your grade and whether or not you choose to show up for online class or not. In addition to that, guys, there's Chromebooks and laptops, and then there's phones. It's really important that you pay attention to what Mr. Founder said earlier about your about requesting a Chromebook. If you need a Chromebook, please hit that link and request a Chromebook, because sure, you can use your phone, but it's going to be a lot harder to do this work on a phone. So make sure you get that Chromebook, laptop, or hotspot, whatever's needed. Let's say you can't participate. Let's say maybe somebody in your house contracts coronavirus, or somebody gets sick, or a parent gets laid off, or who knows what the case may be. If you're not participating, your teacher's going to reach out to you and your family to document it. We want to make sure that you're okay. And if after that, if we can't get a hold to you, somebody from the communication team will try to get a hold to you to provide assistance to make sure all of your needs are met. All right. If we still can't get a hold to you, or if there's some kind of barrier, then you will hear from a counselor or an assistant principal so that we can make sure that you are engaged in this work. In addition to that, guys, we're going to track all of your missed time in synchronous learning, and that document will be monitored by all of our teachers, our communication team, and our administrators. So again, I can't stress enough how important it is that you're showing up for class every day on time. Finally, here's these last two slides kind of go hand in hand. This next one is about affirmations. And this idea that, you know what, this period of time that we're going through right now, you need to affirm yourself and affirm each other, because this is a difficult period. And let's not fool ourselves and act like, oh, this is easy. Let's not act like, we were all prepared for this, but we're really not. And it's important that we affirm ourselves with positivity over the next few weeks and months. So as we move into distance learning, remember this: the best I can do is my best. How human of me to feel nervous about trying something new. I will give myself the same grace I give others. I may not be able to control the situation, but I do have control over my attitude. You know, guys, that one's a big one. This whole thing about what can I control and what can I not control is really important to remember as we move forward. And this next one is really big too. This is only temporary. You know, this is not the first pandemic our world has ever seen, and it's not going to be the last one. But as of right now, this is a temporary situation that we're following, and it's really important to remember that we're going to get through this, but we got to get through it together, one step at a time. I can do difficult things. I don't have to have it all figured out to move forward, and I will make mistakes. And you know what? That's okay. What's not okay is to make a mistake and then not try to fix it. So as we move forward, guys, remember this. This is something y'all hear me say all the time, is that Central High School, our school vision is that we are relentlessly continuing our tradition as leaders of positive social change. This is the time for you to be that leader. Don't wait around for somebody for some need to be met. If you see something that needs to be fixed, I want to encourage you to go ahead and fix it. All right. If you see somebody that needs encouragement, give them encouragement. All right. If you have a question, ask your question. We're going to do our best to answer that question. Guys, I miss you so much. I can't tell you how much I miss you. I want so desperately to see you. I love seeing our football team. They're still practicing every day. I love pulling up in the morning and seeing them practice. I can't wait to see you tomorrow when we come in and we do our Chromebook pickup and our band and orchestra instrument pickup. And just remember, guys, you are a leader of positive social change, and this school year is going to be just fine, but we got to get through it together. I can't wait to see you all again. I love you and I miss you. Let's make this a great school year.